The Movie Bar Podcast.
Welcome to the Movie Bar Podcast. Enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to our bonus episode, fresh from the stream, presented by the Movie Bar. Let's start the show. I am John.
I'm Billy.
I'm Justin. Why the hell did I get third billing this time? What the fuck?
Moving up.
That just makes my Kyle move that much easier. We will be discussing Late Night with the Devil, which is on Shudder.
How you guys doing this week? Good?
Doing all right.
It goes.
All
And it comes
right.
and it goes.
Well, like Justin said, this week we are discussing Late Night with the Devil, which was directed by Cameron Carnes and Colin Carnes, had a box office of $10.2 million and was released on March 22nd, 2024 in theaters and on April 19th on Shudder.
Yes, this is rated R with a runtime of 1 hour, 26 minutes. It is currently streaming on Shudder as well as AMC Plus because they own Shudder. As well as on sale on Amazon, Vudu, and iTunes.
Thanks for giving me the cast there, buddy. We've got David, don't really know how to pronounce his last name, as Jack Delroy.
Das Malachian.
There we go. Thank you. See, should have given it to him. Lara Gordon as June Ross Mitchell. Ian
Why he
Bliss
didn't.
as Carmichael Haig. Faisal Bazi as Christou. Ingrid Torelli as Lily. Reese Auteri as Gus McConnell. Georgina Haig as Madeline Piper. Josh Kwong Tart as Leo Fisk. Steve Mouzakis as Xandor Dabo. Paula Arundel as Diane. Christopher Kirby as Phil. John O'May as Walker Bedford. Michael Ironside as the narrator. And Nicole Chapman as P.O. James.
All right. So there was a lot of talk about this movie when the trailer first came, and then when it hit theaters, and then releasing on Shudder. What did you guys think of it to begin with?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty good movie. I like the format. Justin, what do you think?
It was all right. There had some good kills in it.
Yeah,
So it was a
the
bit
ending was kind of
lackluster.
yeah. The
So
whole ending kind of felt kind of off, but other than that, I thought I enjoyed it.
So the whole premise of, this is a late night talk show in what, the 80s,
1970s.
70s,
77 to be specific, I believe.
Yes.
77, and it really gave that feel, and I liked the little the bumpers in between, we'll be right back, and then the commercials, and they talk about how Jack Delroy is second fiddle to Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
Can't just quite get over that hump to to beat him in the ratings or whatever. But this is sweeps week and Halloween.
Yes, and Jack's contract's almost up, so
Yeah.
he's got to pull in a win to keep the show on the air.
So, a little background on Jack, he married the love of his life who ended up with cancer and ended up dying. And this will contain spoilers, by the way.
Yeah.
Should have said that at the intro, but
Possibly. It's always good to say this contains spoilers right after giving a spoiler.
well, no, I mean, that's kind of a main point that she
No, I
dies,
know.
and
Yeah.
it kind of shows how like how Jack can kind of deal with, and his show is Night Owls.
Yes.
Maybe that's the reason why he wasn't winning the raisins. The ratings. Because,
The ratings. Yeah.
Because, you got Late Night with Johnny Carson, or in later days, The Tonight Show, The Late Late Show. But Night Owls, that's kind of stupid.
I like that name. That's what you call people who stay up late, night owls.
You would.
It's a common term.
I know
It's a common term.
I mean, but that sounds like a show that would be like a Jerry Springer type show. It's like, girls catfighting all the time. But, so, basically what you're watching is the lost footage from this show. And kind of reminded me of the WHRP Halloween special, or
WKRP?
no, WHUF. I'm sorry, WHUF, the Halloween special. It's a movie, and it's about like a news station. They're showing this like segment where this guy goes into a haunted house and shit starts happening, kind of like that.
War of the Worlds?
No.
Yeah, same basic premise.
Yeah.
You're telling a story, instead of it actually being a story. Yeah, I get you.
But, and this definitely had that vibe to it. Like, okay, we found the tape. Now we're just going to release them to show what happened on this episode. So first, he plays the prank on the
Gus. Poor Gus.
Yeah, poor Gus. Where he's like, and Jack Delroy.
Yes, and he's looking for him, and he comes up behind him with the sheet over his head and looking like the ghost that you would see in
a little bit.
Trick or Treating in 1977.
It's a legit thing to do to someone. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a good, solid prank.
Yeah.
Especially with a whole bunch of TV cameras and monitors that he could probably look at and tell that he was standing right behind him,
Yeah. It was a tight space. You couldn't feel his presence. Like when Jack, why are you scrouched down over there?
Well, he was on the other side of the little board plates there, so.
But, and they have the live studio on, as they're talking about what's going on in the show that night. They have the, like the medium, the guy that.
Yeah, they had the medium.
Christo.
Yeah, the former magician turned skeptic.
Yep.
The doctor with the possessed girl.
And then Cleo James. And the Halloween parade.
Yep.
But
I really wanted to watch that. I was disappointed that we didn't get the Halloween parade.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Crystal. Like, he's one of those people, like the mediums that, okay. I'm sensing something. Yeah, it's Jack. A very common name.
John, Joseph, Jonathan.
And, there's somebody that's like...
Joseph, it's me!
It is me, but... And then there's always somebody in the crowd that's like, oh my God, he's talking about me.
Yep.
But that first guy, that was funny.
Yeah, the Peterson.
Yeah.
Oh no, she's still alive. She ran off with the neighbor.
Yep.
Yeah.
My golf game's never been better.
Yeah. And, then he's like, okay, no, I was wrong. It's coming to me. And then he gets the two girls in the front row, the mother and the daughter.
Yeah, and that one didn't have much. You notice that one didn't have much fishing. He pretty much knew he had.
They were probably plants.
Well, that's what I thought originally, but later on you find out how he did it.
How was that? I can't remember.
There was a lady out in the before they came in asking questions.
Yeah.
But you're sitting there and he's just like hitting on everything. Like, the son's name was Edward. He had a bear, Papa.
So
he died suddenly.
The way you said that was not good.
And then he feels there's a
oops.
And then he feels that there's like a strange presence in the room, and
begins.
Is that when he started vomiting?
No, that was
That was later when the
The
skeptic came out.
Yeah, no, this was he came up with the name Minnie.
Oh yes, and that was, as we found out later, was connected to Jack.
Yes, it's the pet name for his
That's
wife.
when he went crazy and he was like, "I'm gonna talk to you."
Yes.
Yeah. So then they go to commercial break. They bring out the skeptic.
Yeah, I like how they do the commercial breaks too. They like go to commercial break, and then when they're at commercial break, you get like different footage of the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But it's usually like in black and white or something, and it's instead of like that grainy look, it's back into like a normal full HD
Yeah.
picture, which I
It
thought
was
was
it's like somebody
interesting.
was recording it, and
Hmm.
the station man or the show producer, whatever the hell he was, kind of a dick.
Yeah.
And they come back from commercial. They bring out the skeptic, who's offering checks if he can be proved wrong, and
Yeah, because he was a former magician and he turned skeptic and he tries to like use science to prove all these everyone wrong, and if anyone can offer scientific proof, he will pay them money, like $500,000 or something.
yeah,
Started off at 100.
Yeah, started off 100,000, but then throughout the show it goes up to like 500,000, and at this time Christo is sitting there, his nose is bleeding, and he's kind of agitated.
yeah. And he's a real dick too. Like,
Yeah, Haig. Yeah, oh, he is.
wouldn't let anybody get a word in really.
Mm-hmm.
And then Christo starts puking blood everywhere.
Well, it was black, was it? It was more of like a black substance
it was
than blood.
black.
I thought it was, well,
Yeah.
it was very vile substance. He puked all over the guy, the skeptic's jacket.
Yep, all
Mhm.
over the stage, and yeah, they'll like cut to another commercial break.
Yeah. And then they come back with the story of Lily, who was a little child in a cult that, drank the Kool-Aid and burned the fucking place down when the cops found out about him.
Yeah, they all burned, and Lily was the only one to survive the mass
Doing this,
immolation.
cutting your hands with the knife and then passing it to the next person. They cut their hands and got blood. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mhm.
she's lucky to have
Yeah.
survived.
Abraxas was the demon's name.
But she
Abraxas.
called him
Mr. Wriggles.
Wiggles. I thought it was Wiggles.
Wriggles.
Wriggles his way in, wriggles his way out.
And then, Lily gets hooked up with June, the parapsychologist and author who's helped her keep Brackus or whatever at bay. And,
Yeah.
but then, of course, Jack's like, hey, let's bring him out. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, let's meet Abraxas. That's exactly. It's always what could go wrong.
Yeah,
It's always a
exactly.
good thing.
Well, that's the
Yes.
skeptic's fault. He was being an ass,
Yeah.
egging her on.
Well,
June really didn't want to. She said
no,
it was.
she was totally against it because that would destroy all the progress that they've made in keeping them
Mhm.
at bay and whatever. So they go to commercial, come back, and she's tied to a chair.
Yeah, strapped in.
And very slowly, Brackus starts making his appearance.
Yeah, Mr. Wriggles.
Mr. Wiggles, and completely takes over her body, levitates the chair in the air, and she even sounds like Jack at one point when she's talking to him.
And her like skin starting to like cut open and split.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
she's contorting in weird ways, and Gus is over there getting nervous.
Yeah, and still
shitting bricks is more like it.
Yeah. I feel so bad for Gus.
The skeptic was skeptical that was all an act.
Yep.
Even
it
though
was very grandiose and.
Yeah, I know how they did that. Like, so he wants to show what he can do with his magic.
Mm-hmm.
It sits down poor Gus and
hypnotizes the audience and everyone.
Yeah. Into thinking, well, he hypnotizes Gus and makes worms appear.
Yes,
And
out of everywhere.
oh,
Out of his stomach, out of his neck, that big
yeah.
one out of his eye. And then,
It was all an act.
yes,
Yeah.
John loved it. He wished it was snakes.
everyone was,
No.
yeah, Haig, snaps his fingers, gets everyone out of it, and they go back and rewatch the footage, and none of that happened. It was all in everyone's head because they were all
The
hypnotized.
worst part was poor Gus was taking his clothes off on live air.
Yep. Oh yeah.
You know,
He said,
so
never been more embarrassed.
I don't know why
So-
everybody says that. I mean, you were hypnotized. It's like that is the excuse. Like everybody gets it. Like
yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
That's
And then Lily has the bright idea, goes, well, if we can show your film back to prove that it was a hypnosis, let's show our footage back.
And once
look at
again,
footage of that, see if it was hypnosis
Dr.
or real.
June is all against it.
Yep.
And
but it happened.
it happens, and they opened up a whole nother can of worms. No
Yeah.
pun intended.
Yeah, they show the tape and they see something in the tape and they slow it down, and there's, Minnie standing
Why?
over Jack's shoulder. Kind of just
Yeah,
with this look on her face.
pretty fucking creepy if you ask me.
Yeah.
I believe that was probably the intent.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, as you'll see, it scored really high on the rating. So
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And then
so then Jack kind of goes into this whole little what would you call that? Like an illusion state where he's he's the caveman, and then
well,
Oh, you're
before
skipping
that,
shit.
yeah, you're forgetting Lily's splitting headache, I would call it.
Yeah, you're forgetting the whole point where she like shows
everybody.
what happens.
Yes, her head pops
Starts
open,
glowing,
light comes
and
flying out,
she
and
just looks at Gus and
Gus
his,
and
head
his
just
neck goes,
spins.
oh yeah, okay.
Dr.
See, that's
June
why
gets hung, and
this all can't fall on me. This is why I have you two assholes here to do this too.
yeah.
So
Well, I mean, you have it written in order, and you just just go into your own little world in the order. So it's written in order, and you wrote it in order.
yeah,
You just like to skip things.
Yeah, and Haig burns to death, I guess you would say. Yeah.
I liked it when she's got the doctor up by the necklace, and he's down on his knees, and he look at it. She dies. He goes, "Uh-oh." He pulls out the check and it burns up in his hand.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit.
Yeah, and
This
then we
ain't
got
fake.
yeah.
Jack's just standing there looking disoriented, and that's when
John's part goes. Go.
Well, see, if they had just left it like that,
yeah,
that would have been like a good end.
Yeah, that would have been the better end.
Because now you're seeing what's in Jack's mind. What's going through his head, like where he's the caveman, and then he's with Minnie and all this other shit.
Yes, and then you learn about like the Grove.
Yeah.
The little cult that Jack is a part of, and Abraxas is a part of it. So and how they know how Abraxas knew who Jack was.
Yeah, because Lily did say that, she thought he was handsome, and
yes,
Abraxas thought that he was handsome or whatever.
And they kind of imply his fame and fortune is the reason why Minnie died or got the cancer, because he had to pay a price.
Yeah. And it comes back, and Jack is standing in the studio with a bunch of dead people all around him.
having
He
just stabbed the girl in the
stabbed
heart.
Lily. Yep.
Mhm.
Thinking it was Minnie who was begging him on her deathbed to just end it. So
Yeah.
he does.
Yeah.
There we go. End transmission. So it is done.
So what kept you invested in the movie?
What kept me invested?
Yeah.
I just liked the story. I thought it was cool. I
Justin?
wanted to see what was going to happen. I wanted to see, how it all tied together.
Yeah, I was kind of hopeful it would wrap up a little bit better than that. That was, I just kind of wanted to see where it was going, and it kind of just flailed out there at the end. Like, it got really good, and then they should have just stopped it.
So you think the same
you
thing
don't
that
have to tie that up. That should have been one of those where it's released on the world, and then it just, what happened? Leave you guessing.
yeah, so
Guessing would have been better.
do you think if they had taken out the scene from Jack's mind and just like cut to black for a second, comes back and he's standing around all these people?
Yeah,
And,
that may have been a little better.
Yeah.
He still would have had to kill Lily.
yeah, but you would have just seen Lily stabbed and him holding the knife, and then you're like, what the fuck was that all about?
I'd have been okay with them ending with him dead in the corner and her off doing fuck all.
Yeah.
I just think that they should have left out that whole stupid try to tie it up in the memory scene type deal. I don't like that. It seems like it's just, like you invested so much in the story that just here you go, dream sequence.
Do you guys think there'll be a sequel to this?
Be kind of difficult. I don't think Jack will get another shot at the late night game.
I don't know. I mean, I understand why he wouldn't, because he just killed people. But celebrities, they have a way.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can. I don't think there could be a direct sequel. No.
Yeah, it'd have to be something.
I think there
different.
could be something in the same fold
vein.
or lens or vein, but it's that was the story.
Well,
yeah.
Hour 36.
This ain't no WWE championship, man.
Yeah. An hour 26 minutes. I think that was perfect timing.
Perfect. Well, yeah, because it was supposed to be like in the length of a late night talk show.
Yeah.
Those usually go about an hour and a half.
Footage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, do you guys have a favorite scene?
When the worm pops out of Gus's eyeball. that big thing.
I just like that
Gus.
last scene when she just flips Gus's head and then grabs the woman with the necklace, and then dude's just like.
I think Gus was the star of the movie.
Yeah. Gus was great. I felt like I have like 4 times in my notes. Poor Gus. I just felt so bad for him.
Do we recommend this movie?
Yes.
It's pretty good. It's worth a watch.
Yeah.
It's not like
Justin,
the greatest thing in the world, but
Were you skeptical about watching this movie?
Yeah.
I know Billy wasn't, because he had seen it in theaters and talked about it when he saw it. And I wanted to see it whenever it came out, so since I saw the trailer, I wanted to see it. So, all right, Justin, why don't you give us some ratings?
I give it a 3 out of 5. How about you, John?
I give it a 3.
I give it 3 3/4. Not quite 4, but pretty
on
close.
The IMDb give it a 7.5. Rotten Tomatoes 97. That's high. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a wrap, folks. Thanks for joining us today.
But before we go, find us on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and most places you are listening to this podcast right now.
Do you want me to read that because you highlighted it for you? Okay,
Yeah,
I will go ahead and I will do that now. Hey, look at that! It magically changed. Don't forget to follow us on social media to stay updated on future episodes and join the conversation. You can find us on Twitter/X at the Movie Bar Pod and Instagram at Movie Bar Podcast and on YouTube and TikTok at Movie Bar Pod and at the Movie Bar Podcast on Facebook. Tag us, share your favorite movie moments, and suggest films you'd love for us to cover next.
Have a film suggestion? I just want to say hello. Drop us an email at themoviebar@outlook.com.
Until next time, keep the popcorn popping and the reels rolling. We'll see you next time on Fresh from the Stream, presented by the Movie Bar Podcast.